I didn't write anything down. Got a hard time putting words together to. I think there's been a lot of descriptions of my dad today. He was a good man. He was a good dad. Daddy taught me to box when I was a kid. He said, son, you might need to defend yourself. But don't ever be the guy who starts the fight. But you better finish it.
Amen.
I got beat up a few times. And I beat up a few people. But it was because my daddy taught me to stand up for the little guy. I can't count a fight I was in that didn't have something to do with someone who's been picked on, ridiculed for either their status in life, their race, their religion, something. I got in law enforcement because I wanted to look out for the little guy, look out for people who can't look out for themselves, do for them what they either don't know how to do or can't do. Some people in life get frozen in their position. They don't know what to do for themselves, no matter what situation or circumstance they're in. Sometimes I would call Dad, and he would just a conversation with him about the day's events, the things in life, the direction the world's going. Like Katie. I said, son, you prayed about it? And of course, I would always say, yeah. And like Katie, he would say, what are you worried about? It takes a special kind of person. There were things that I learned about, probably didn't really think about until I was in my 40s. But I brought them to Daddy's attention. I picked him up from the airport in February of this year in Houston. He just got back from Jamaica, worked with Aaron's dad. And we got to have a lot of candid conversations. During our trip, Daddy told me, I said, Dad, I'm going to help you in whatever you need. He said, son, I don't want you to feel obligated. I said, Daddy, there's no obligation to people you love. It's something you do. You taught me that. My dad taught me to be a man, not to raise a hand to a woman, to do everything you can to be as kind and as gentle as you can to not just women, but just people in general, to love people. He taught me to look deeper. I run into homeless people on an almost daily basis in my job. And I ask them from time to time, why are you homeless? And I get asked by other deputies, sergeants, lieutenants, why do you ask them why they're homeless? What does it matter? I said, it matters to them that I asked. It matters to them that I took the time to show humanity to someone else. Daddy taught me that. He was born in the wrong era. He belonged in the 1800s, not the 1900s.
Amen.
No air conditioning. I made one promise to myself when I moved out. I was going to have air conditioning. My wife can attest that I make sure that happens. If that's the only generator we can afford to put on, it's going to be the AC. I'm like others to sit up here today and said, hey, I don't know what to say as far as the stories, because there's many. Daddy loved his family. When we were just kids, Terry, Tammy, myself, Katie came along much later. The story that my dad and I had a conversation about was that I remember sleeping in the bed of the pickup truck. We had a 1967 Ford pickup, and we slept in the bed of it. And until I was 40 years old, I didn't really think about it much. And so I had this conversation with him, and I said, Dad, were we homeless? He said, yes, son, we were. We were going from job to job. I said, but Dad, I didn't feel homeless. We were just kids right in the back of the truck. We got food, we had everything we needed, we just didn't have any shelter. But us as kids, in a lot of senses, kids would be like, oh my God, I'm homeless. My dad made sure we didn't feel that way. He made sure that we didn't feel like we were losing out or missing out on anything. Daddy was a minimalist type person. He didn't have to have the newest and the greatest, the biggest name brand. And I can't say that I got that from him. But I do believe that in the scope of things, Daddy taught me that, as Katie mentioned, it's not things that make the man or the woman. It's the person. What you do with your life, how you live it, how you personify yourself to others. It's kind of like they say, when it's not integrity is not what you do when people see you. Integrity is what you do when people can't see you.
That's right.
You're doing the things you're supposed to do, not because somebody is watching you to say, you better be doing that right, but because it's been instilled in you some way or another, either through church, through parents, and I am very honored that so many people have been touched by my dad's life. It means a lot to me. I've been touched by my dad's life. I was there when he passed. And being there was important to me because he was important to me. He had a way about it to make people feel important, when in their status in life, they weren't. They didn't hold a position. They weren't driving a brand new pickup truck or a Cadillac. They might not have been driving anything. Might have been on foot. When I was a kid, Daddy brought a guy into our house that was homeless. I said, what are you doing? He said, the man needs somewhere to live. Why here? Because here's where we're at. He felt led to bring this person in and give them shelter. I kind of was upset with my dad for a while. I was a teenager. What do teenagers know? They think they know everything, but parents know better. But things like that was my dad. Helping people on the side of the road. You see somebody broke down, man, woman, doesn't matter. They look like they're in need. He's gonna stop and help. He just had a way of making people feel included and a part. He told me some time ago, and in the time since February that I've been spending a lot of time up here trying to be with him, be with Mom, be here to just be here. I said it was to mow. It wasn't. I wanted to help, but I wanted to be near Dad. He said, Steve, don't celebrate, don't mourn my life, celebrate my life. Because I don't want people crying over me. I said, well, get over it, buddy. It's gonna happen. We're gonna cry. We're gonna be upset. He said, I understand, but focus your efforts on celebrating. He said, because the life that we lead, the life that we live, if we did it right, there's no perfectness there, it's just doing it right, then it's gonna be worth celebrating. So I'm gonna have to second what Katie said. Daddy is my hero. And it's not goodbye. Just see you later.